Welcome to the work phase. You're watching this, which has got to mean this. I couldn't have said it better myself. Yep, so as you can see, we're at Aldicum Beach across the way, looking quite beautiful this morning. Little tiny bit of ripple on the sea, and a few fishermen over here off the pier there. We're heading right today, so we're going to head out around towards Ansteys Cove and Long Quarry and stuff like that. I'll show you that on the map, and I'll pump the boards up. Let's do this. Here we are folks, out on the water, and it's a lot bumpier than we thought. Let me show you. You can see this. There's just a fair bit of bump in the water. Now we're heading along there towards Long Quarry, and then go around the corner we'll be at Ansteys Cove. But at the moment, let's just zoom out a little bit. You can see here we've got some amazing cliffs. There's lots of bird wildlife, but it is a little bit bumpier today, which means I'm going to be on my knees a little bit, and then in a minute I'll take my hat off, get on my pegs, and I don't care for falling because it's going to be so beautiful in there. On we go. Is Long Quarry. I'm right on the point, and you can see the ripple and bump and lump out there, and now you're looking towards Ansteys Cove. It's flat and still, and almost like a playground for the flat. That's what I call it. Right, it's time to hit you with a new feature. This is called Steve Dogg's Paddleboarding Facts of the Day. So it's not about paddleboarding, it's about location. Let's tell you something interesting about where we are today. The one question that I get asked probably more than any other, and Christoph Helefson from South Wales actually was only asking me this the other day, was why is there a quarry, Steve Dogg, at Long Rock? Well, the answer is quite simple. Stone and rock, which is essentially the same sort of thing, was quarried from Long Quarry, and the type of rock that comes out of here, or came out of here, is limestone, which is very, very good for building, and was used to build houses and buildings in the late 18th and early 19th century. On top of that, some of the rock formation is such of a high quality, you can even make marble out of that rock. So there you go folks, that fact, get this, rocks. On we go. Right folks, so here we are down on, this is actually the beach in at Long Rock, and Ansteys, I think, according to the map anyway, it's just around the corner, and that's where you come down if you park up at the car park and walk down to the Cat. So we'll go and have a look at that in a minute. I'll show you what we got here and tell you a little bit about the area. So there's Long Rock out there, the quarry in behind that pointy uppy bit as they call it. Ocean liner out there at sea, and then we look around, and in the distance, if I zoom in a little bit, in the distance there, you go around that headland out there, and it actually goes into a cove called Hope Cove, believe it or not. And of course this isn't a shortcut down to Salcombe Way, this is a different Hope Cove if you guys are paying attention, because I know a lot of you do, a lot of you don't. And those of you who skipped elements of the video, then you missed the dolphin action we saw a minute ago, didn't you? Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. You'll never know unless you rewind and have a look. Anyway, down here, this was a place frequented by a very famous person. I'm going to give you a moment to have a think about that. An author. There you go. Have a think and I'll give you the answer. Said out loud, folks. It's not GWR this week. It is Agatha Christie. That's right, Agatha Christie used to frequent this area, and apparently she was down here once. Get this is a great little story, one of my favourite stories. She was down on this beach and she was receiving advances from a gentleman, a man who wanted to become romantically entwined with Agatha Christie, and she said, you know mate, I'm not having it, I've got some books to write and Hercule Poirot is the only man for me and he's make-believe. So she sent him on his way in no uncertain terms, but then because she didn't like him, she actually wrote him into her book, one of her books, and then she killed him off in that book. So don't go messing with Agatha Christie, folks, if you bump into her, because she'll write you into her book and then she'll kill you off before you get to chapter 3. Right, bit of interesting local knowledge on the area, and we're going to head out in a minute to have a look at the bit of Ansteys Cove that we all know, and also stuff. Yes, we're going to go and see some stuff. The Ansteys Cove itself, folks. I just had a lovely little wipe out, which you probably saw on the video. Not planned, just shows, you know, always try and keep improving, but absolutely gorgeous in the water. So it's great, isn't it? You fall in to somewhere where you're quite happy to be. If you look along this coast here, there's a lovely footpath up there. I might show you a link above where we went on that footpath for a walk, and it gives you directions and a route you can follow all the way around Hope's Nose and back through. It's quite spectacular up there, and you can only just see the glimpses of down here, and when you're walking you think, oh, I'd love to go down to Ansteys, but it's a long old way down. But probably well worth doing if you do that walk, to come down and just have a dip in the water, because there's a nice deep swimmy water areas here. Anyway, on we go. I'll show you on the map where we did get, and we are linking up bits and bobs of the coastline as we go. You can see though today there's that kind of bump in the water. Look at it coming towards us. Makes it tricky for me. I know I can stand up, but as I found out I can fall in as well, which is fun actually, so it doesn't really matter. But we're going to get around Long Rock Point, just point for home then, and then just let the wind and the waves just roll us home, so it should be nice and easy. So on we go. Always up for a challenge. I've set myself a challenge. I've got about 300-400 yards to go to Long Rock. In bumpy conditions, I'm going to stand up and see how far I can get across there and how many times will I fall in. I reckon 4 times. If I can beat that, I've done all right. Let's do it. Did it. No falling in there, folks. That was so tough. On my back, on my legs. Just constantly going like this all the time. Unbelievable. Really good for my skills, but whew, hard work. Wouldn't want to do that for much longer. Quite spectacular. I aimed to get to that buoy, went past it, a few extra steps, and then rewarded myself with a splash in the water. And I saw a tennis ball out there as well, so I'm going to get that one. Yes! Back on terra firma, all packed up. Hope you enjoy that. Catch you guys on the next paddleboarding flip side. I couldn't have said it better myself.